While the gaze is on Gaza, the last 2 weeks since Hamas' brutal attack have shown that it is upon Israel to recognize that only in Palestinian well being can it find real long lasting security. The name of the author is Chetan Bhagat. No matter how upset or angry you are, no matter how desperate you are to be heard, nothing can justify the killing of children. There is no debate that what Hamas did to Israel was condemnable and sank humanity to a new low. Indiscriminate killing of civilians, taking them hostage, and opening fire at a music concert have shaken, scarred, and scared Israel. If this is not terrorism, what is? The purpose of this article is not to diminish the severity of Hamas's terrible actions or the pain it caused Israel. Support for Israel is unequivocal and it has the right to defend itself. However, support for Israel doesn't have to mean a carte blanche that it can do anything. The sentiment cannot be. Israel has suffered so much that from now on it can do no wrong. Neither does Israel's right to self defense mean that there can be no criticism of any Israeli action. Because here's the thing, Israel's response to Hamas's terror attacks of bombing the hell out of Gaza while depriving ordinary Gaza citizens of power, water, food, medicines, and a roof over their head is against Israel's self interest, let alone causing enormous suffering to an entire people. Israel is doing what it is out of emotion, hurt, and a desire for revenge, a desire to reset the narrative and feel in control. Except sadly, actions emerging out of anger and hurt do not work. Perhaps as outsiders, we can see this better without emotion. Pummeling Gaza and making life hell for millions of impoverished Palestinians there is not going to serve Israel well in the long term. It will only build more resentment and hatred against Israel. Palestinians cannot simply be wished away, and the surviving millions will harbor resentment against Israel, which billions of Muslims around the world may also harbor when they see Palestinian children suffer due to Israel's response. The more Israel makes innocent Gaza children suffer, half of Gaza's residents are children, the more piteous visuals will emerge and the more Israel will stand to lose the higher moral ground. Once that is lost, Israel loses the goodwill it enjoys even in the non-Muslim world. Perceptions change fast, react, but do it strategically. Mere emotional reactions are not bravery. Bravery is in keeping calm through the toughest of times. It is about not taking Hamas's bait, not getting into the trap of rabble rousers on social media or elsewhere. It is about finding solutions that keep Israelis safe and prosperous in the long term. Which brings us to the main point. How could Israelis, some of the smartest, hard-working and surviving against all adversity people on the planet, let the situation spiral into this? The Jewish community is an example of a global minority that through hard work, intelligence and progressive thoughts has always managed to thrive and rise despite being persecuted. How could they be so wrong in handling the Israel-Palestine issue in the first place? Did they really think that the solution to the Palestine problem was not giving Palestinians equal rights, restricting them to certain areas and controlling even these areas with security checks plus restrictions on water and power supply? Did they actually expect this to bring stability and peace? And now, even if one ignores the moral aspect of carpet bombing Gaza, does Israel really think its response will make Israel and Israeli citizens safe again? Israel has to concede its blind spot on the Palestine issue. In all their designs to manage security risks, segregation, Iron Dome, frisking, limiting rights, they forgot the other side's well being. They forgot that no matter what tech or resources you put in place to keep yourself safe, if you do not provide dignity and a chance at a decent life to the group that resents you, you are only delaying a time bomb, not diffusing it. The current hyper response in Gaza may seem to bring peace to Israel for a while. However, it will only be further aggravating the problem. Israel is lucky it has powerful and influential friends, most notably the US. However, this is only because there is a sizable and influential Jewish community in the US. Many other countries also support Israel. Things are at a point where mere mention of anything other than the blind support to Israel is condemnable and cancelled. However, Israel should be smart enough to realize that this support comes from a place of supporters' local politics in their home country. Harsh as it is, nobody really cares beyond a point. Neither do they face the dangers and risks that only Israelis do. To that extent, nobody else can understand. The right thing to do for Israeli is to respond, but within limits. Treating Palestinians as third-grade citizens and then managing their resentment with an iron dome is clearly not a workable solution. You don't have to love the Palestinians, but you can surely come up with a way to live in peace. Love and peace are different. Israelis must not express their emotions on an incident, but also find and show a way that works to keep them and the region safe. The solution to terrorists killing Israeli children is not to kill more Palestinian children. It is to find a way where children are no more killed in the long run.